Media. 100 years ago, people could only get information from reading books and newspapers. The development of technology has changed all that. Today, we can get all sorts of information from radio, television, books, newspapers, magazines, advertising, and computers. All these different types of media provide us with entertainment and education. Famous people are often photographed, as they are interesting to many people. Television programs. The first television was demonstrated in 1926. Regular TV broadcasts in the USA and Europe followed in the next 10 years. Today television is a part of our lives, with hundreds of different channels showing sports, news, entertainment, documentary, and education programs to many millions of people. TV presenter Johnny Carson presented the entertainment program The Tonight Show, one of America's most popular shows. International television today, programs are broadcast around the world by satellite to a huge audience. History of television. The first black and white television was demonstrated by the Scottish inventor, John Logie Baird, in 1926, and the first regular color TV service began in the USA in 1950. Satellites were used after 1962 to show television programs around the world, and there was a huge increase in the sale of TV sets. Today, cable and satellite TV stations make television international. They broadcast on numerous channels to a worldwide audience. Home entertainment. Many people quickly bought televisions when they learned events could be seen live from the other side of the world. Television studio. Many people are required in the studio to make even the simplest TV program. Camera operators, lighting and sound technicians, set and costume designers, directors, and producers work with the people who appear on screen. Some programs are made before they are broadcast, and some are filmed live. The director looks after the content of the program, and the producer handles the technical issues. The live show, so they are up to date. News programs are usually filmed live. Outside broadcasts. Broadcasting from outside a television studio can be an unpredictable job. This is because the director and producer have less control over events than they do in a studio. Bad weather conditions can affect the quality of the picture, and there is no chance to film a live event again if things go wrong. Despite these problems, outside broadcasts do make it possible for news events to be filmed and broadcast live within seconds of their taking place, and there is nothing as exciting as watching a big sporting event, as it happens. War zones. Television crews have to go to dangerous places in order to film the news, as it happens. Radio broadcasts. Radio broadcasts are easy to listen to, as some radios can operate by small batteries and do not need complex aerials. Radio programs are also quite inexpensive to make, which allows many companies to broadcast music, news, and other subjects to very specific audiences, offering a wide choice. Changing styles. Radio design changes with technology. They are still getting smaller and more portable. The DJ disc jockeys, DJs, often have outrageous personalities to make up for the fact that they cannot be seen. Find out more. The first radio broadcasts. The very first radio broadcast went out on Christmas Eve, 1906, from a radio station in Massachusetts, USA. Its Christmas greeting to listeners, with music and a Bible reading, was only received over a 5-mile range. Under better weather conditions, its next broadcast, on New Year's Eve, reached the West Indies. The first news bulletin was broadcast in 1920, in Detroit, Michigan, USA. The first children's program was broadcast in 1921, in New Jersey, USA, and the first radio play in 1923, in New York, USA. History of radio. The first radio broadcast was made in 1895 by the Italian inventor Guglielmo Marconi. In 1901 he sent a radio signal across the Atlantic. Regular radio broadcasts began in the USA in 1907. Radio stations today broadcast a range of programs in every country, from international and national broadcasts heard by millions, to local broadcasts heard by the people in one town or area. Early radio. When plays were first performed on radio, actors had to learn to be very expressive. Newspapers. Millions of people buy a daily newspaper to read the latest news, follow the fortunes of their local football team, or just to see what is on television that evening. Newspapers report the news, but they also make the news by investigating major issues of concern, and reporting wrongdoing. Changing news. Newspaper design has changed with printing advances and use of computers. Honest words. Newspapers print the news, often this includes their editorial opinion. Find out more. The newspaper industry. Because of the high costs involved in producing a newspaper, most local and national newspapers are owned by a few large companies. Many Australian, British, and American newspapers are owned by Rupert Murdoch, who also owns television and film companies. Computer technology means that a paper can be produced in one country and printed the same day in another. Magazines. Magazines cover almost every possible subject in the world, from news, current affairs, sports, and leisure to arts, fashion, entertainment, and hobbies. Most magazines come out weekly or monthly. Space in magazines is sold to companies who advertise. Old and rare. Many unusual subjects have their own magazines. Some older magazines are now collector's items. Fashion magazines. Many magazines are about fashion and show different styles. Gallery of magazines. Thousands of magazines are published every year. Some are specially made to interest a certain group of people, such as fashion magazines, while others are quite general, and include a mixture of fact to inform people, and fiction to entertain people. 1910. In the 1910s, covers showing fashionable women helped to sell magazines. This every week cover is illustrated. It was not until World War II that designers really used photographs for their front covers. World War II dominated design in the 1940s. This cover of Picture Post shows an evacuee child, an important subject for many readers. Picture Post made full use of the power of the photographic image. 1950. After World War II, women's journals started using glossy color cover shots of glamorous models. From the 1950s, Vogue magazine's covers showed color photos of the very latest top fashions. In the 1960s, design became adventurous. Publications like Ounce magazine started using new kinds of typography. News magazines like Look continued to use photographic covers for a stronger image. Throughout the 1960s, the humorous news magazine, Punch, continued to use illustrations for its covers. It often used cartoons, a style which was easily recognized by its readers. Designers in the 1990s have more freedom than ever before. They can place images and text across the page at different angles to create a lively and dramatic effect, as on this front cover of Cosmopolitan. Advertising. Advertising is the method by which a producer of goods or services convinces people to buy a particular product. Newspapers, magazines, television, and billboards can all be used for advertising. Advertisers use the most advanced designs, such as computer graphics, to produce eye-catching, memorable advertisements. Branded. Brand names are recognizable and can often be communicated using just one symbol. How to get ahead. If advertising is very successful, sales of a product often increase. How adverts are made. The first ideas for an advertising campaign are discussed between the advertiser and the creative staff of the advertising agency, then planned out in a visual form on a storyboard. This is then worked into the finished advertisement. Depending on the medium to be used, images, text, words, and music are all put together to create a strong impression on many consumers. Benetton. The clothes shop Benetton has a hugely successful advertising campaign in Europe. Books. The first books were slowly copied by hand until the development of the printing press by Johann Gutenberg in 1450 led to the mass production of books. Today, the publishing industry produces many books, from novels selling millions of copies to college textbooks. Learning books are a good way of finding out about new subjects for millions of adults and children. Book collections. Very old or rare books can be worth a lot of money. Find out more. Paperback books. Books with soft paper covers first appeared in the 1800s. They were cheaper to produce than hardcover books, so more people could afford to buy and read them. Libraries. A library is a collection of books. There are private libraries and public lending libraries. The librarian arranges books by authors' names, and in subject order. Fiction and non-fiction are kept on different shelves. How books are made. When an author has finished writing a book, the final text is delivered to the book publisher. At the publishers, the text is edited, and the layout of the pages, with pictures, is designed. All of this is then sent to the typesetter, who turns it into proof test pages. These are checked and sent to the printer, who prints the pages and then binds them into a cover. Finally, the book is ready to sell. Using computers, books are now written on a word processor, and the pages are typeset from disk.